him in the darkroom, and he would be the first to also say that if he were still around. But that it wasn't one person; it was always two people at least working on his photographs.
Because during this time, everything is quite heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And labor intense.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you're dealing with glass plates that need to be kept in the dark and sensitized and put in the camera, a large box camera on a tripod. So it's nothing like the quick point and shoots of today. And so you definitely need other hands helping you handle all that material. Plus, Rejlander famously didn't take many lessons. He even admitted later that he only went to study with a known photographer for 3 hours one afternoon when he was just starting out, and then he just kind of took it from there. And so he wasn't a stickler for perfect negatives and perfect prints, and he certainly probably did need some help in terms of working the darkroom, because he didn't take a lot of training in it. But he made these incredibly inventive photographs. So, and I also like that about Oscar and Mary's story kind of continues through the show, so that from the very beginning and at the very end, you see them together. And once you've recognized her, you see how often she appears in his photographs, and it's like this familiar face that keeps coming back. It's a really nice story there, I think.
So when he died in 1875, what happened to his archive?
Right. So then Mary actually took over the studio, was running it for a while, and making prints from his negatives and selling them. And then it's a little bit unclear. She does remarry and continues the studio practice, but is financially not doing well. So it's actually members of the Royal Photographic Society that purchase several of Rejlander's negatives. So that's why they're in the Royal Photographic Society collection at the V&A now. And they do that to kind of support her financially. And then otherwise, the prints really just kind of get dispersed. She moves on, and we don't really hear much about her after, the late 19th century. And so a lot of his legacy is left in the hands of photo history, which has formed itself, but has been really sort of commanded by these specific photographers that didn't find him as particularly important, unfortunately. So he gets kind of forgotten about, which is another very interesting story. So his archive, you find it in all sorts of places. The largest collections are in the UK, of course, with the Royal Photographic Society. And then we manage the Getty Museum, just lucked into having a large number of Rejlander prints because we acquired the Samuel Wagstaff collection in 1984. And Wagstaff had been collecting British photography, 19th century British photography, really early on in the 1970s. And so we have this kind of magical group of his photographs, but they're really kind of scattered around. And there's more to find. I know Lori Polly has been continuing to gather a sort of catalog raisonné of his work.
So this is the first time ever?
Yeah, that it's been brought together. All of these photographs haven't been together ever before. And it's a lot of loans with that. You have over 30 lenders to the exhibition, and up from all over the place, Sweden, the UK, Paris, and the United States and North America. So it's impressive. It's kind of nice in a way to have him finally be kind of put back together in one place and really honored in that way. And I do see it in the people that look at the exhibition. They're very, you can tell people are engaging with the photographs, and it's kind of incredible that he's able to do that from, over a couple of centuries. It still speak to us today. It's a miracle. It's really impressive. He's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the photographs, I have a feeling that he liked people.
Yeah.
That he was curious about other human beings.
Yes, I know. He definitely seemed to be very engaged and caring about others, and in a way, sort of, I guess, you could look at it in terms of an actor and sort of very observant of other people's expressions and gestures and sort of imitating those or recreating those. But he also was a lifelong kind of very charitable person. He apparently, in Wolverhampton and in London, there's evidence of him contributing to charities, and then his photographs of the homeless children on the streets of London, and sort of even just addressing the fact that some people lived in these really unfortunate ways, and making that the subject of his photographs was a gesture of kind of caring for people. So a lot of photographers weren't focusing on that aspect of London at the time. He's kind of the photographic equivalent of Charles Dickens or someone like, sort of really focused on that, the way that lower class life played out.
And at the same time, he's earning money taking photographs of really famous rich people.
Yes, exactly. So, he's a typical in that way for a photographer at the time to sort of make money off of photographs that would be of well-known people. So he does have photographs of the kind of literary heroes of the day, and he had to, support himself with photographs of the upper class, but then he, kind of in the same way where you could tell that his real interest was in more everyday life kind of scenes, even just domestic scenes of someone searching for their glasses, or someone drinking a cup of tea, doing the laundry, things like that. He was very interested in kind of in those subjects, and that was also very unusual because they weren't these grand kind of fine art subjects. They were just everyday subjects. So
is the exhibition traveling?
No. So this is the last stop, the last venue for the exhibition, but it was on view in Ottawa at the National Gallery of Canada in the last fall of 2018. And then after here, all the works go back to their homes, and it will be a while probably before a lot of these things are seen again. So
yeah.
I know.
Well, congratulations, LA, for
I know. I feel very proud that we were able to do this and to have this exhibition here. So it's good.
Thank you so much for talking to me about this. This is
welcome.
very, very interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.